Did you know rappers are claiming NBA YoungBoy snitched out of prison early? It was announced. Looks like YoungBoy has been released from federal prison and either transferred to a halfway house or is headed home. I'll confirm soon. It was later confirmed he's now home, because once he got home, he jumped on a FaceTime call with Aiden Ross. Academics also released information on his release and limitations by stating, "Talk to YoungBoy's manager. YoungBoy is home spending time with his family. He has a curfew for 30 days and has to stay at certain location. Have some patience, a tour is locked in. YoungBoy fans get ready. 2025 is YoungBoy's year." However, some rappers are skeptical on how he was released so early. No Jumper announced, "Famous Richard says YoungBoy is working with the feds." An Instagram post also reads, "YoungBoy is telling. This is his third time getting released from the feds within 4 years on all new charges. On King David, you can't do 10 months of a 23-month sentence. My first offer was 5 years for a firearm that the police put on me. YoungBoy's definitely with the police. He's probably the reason Smirk locked up." But what's interesting is fans caught this video of YoungBoy walking around in prison before he was released.
It is.
But attached to the video is another tweet reading, "Honestly, I kinda believe it too. The timing, the energy, the way things are playing out, it's all looking a little too convenient. Wouldn't be the first time someone played both sides. In this game, you never really know who's working with who. Gotta watch everything. So to understand if he snitched or not, it's important to rewatch the moments YoungBoy was released. When he got to court for his sentence, a YoungBoy fan somehow hacked into the court's Zoom call and yelled out, 'Free YoungBoy.'"
Free YB, man. Free YB.
Everyone needs to stay muted. Okay.
Free YB.
All right. Mr. Golden's case has already been called. He's done with court today. For those of you interested, everyone keep yourselves muted.
Free YB.
Free YB.
Free YB.
YoungBoy entered the courtroom with a smile on his face, likely because he saw the support of his fans just minutes before. However, YoungBoy did an interesting thing as he entered the courtroom. He signed a legal document that certifies he understands English but only has education of the 8th grade level. But did you know there's a chance YoungBoy returns to jail? Because his court files reveal that on March 10th, 2021, YoungBoy was arrested and charged with a count of firearm possession by a convicted felon and possession of an unregistered firearm. As YoungBoy was outside recording a music video with many friends who were playing loud music, dancing and waving around firearms in the air. A lady down the street realized this, got worried and dialed 911. When the cops arrived on scene, they recognized YoungBoy and detained him.
So yesterday at court, the body cam footage of the officer who put the cuffs on YoungBoy back in September during that music video, the cop comes right up to him, you know, whatever, he puts the cuffs on him, and then YoungBoy's reaction is kind of hilarious. I thought it might be interesting for y'all. He was like, "Yo, big dog, man, what you doing, man? Why you putting these cuffs on me?" That's what he was calling the cop. He was calling the cop big dog. He's like, "Big dog, you up right now. I didn't do nothing. You can search me. I got nothing on me." Cop doesn't listen. Cop puts him in and the whole time YoungBoy's like, yo, man, what you doing, man? Big dog, why? And it really goes to show you a lot about this case. YoungBoy didn't think he did anything wrong. He didn't think that they were going to go and start taking footage from music videos and said, "You held a gun in a music video and you're a felon and that's a federal felony and you're going to face 3 to 5 years. No, and it really shows you that these federal laws, as applied to kids like NBA YoungBoy from the hood, are extremely unfair and extremely punitive, and we need to take a good long look on what's going on there.
With YoungBoy in handcuffs, his videographer tried deleting all the evidence of YoungBoy holding a firearm. Unfortunately, the police were too quick and confiscated it, resulting in the feds having clear video of YoungBoy holding the firearm. His lawyers tried to argue the police took the camera illegally, but it didn't hold up in court and allowed for the evidence to be used against him, which had the rap lawyer saying,
"Update on NBA YoungBoy. He lost the appeal with the federal appeals court. He can take it up to the Supreme Court. What happened?" So the federal judge, the lower court, ruled in his favor. She said that the video of him holding what looks like to be a is suppressed. It can't be used at trial against him. The way you guys obtained it, you violated his constitutional rights. Now, the government went to the 5th Circuit United States Court of Appeals. The 5th Circuit said, "You know what? We have a different decision, and we're going to say that the government can use that evidence. It is going to be allowed in the case."
Realizing it wasn't going in YoungBoy's favor, his lawyers knew he needed a plea deal. And of course, after some time in court, one came around. But in a heartfelt moment before signing off on the plea deal, it was reported the judge gave YoungBoy a positive message about him being robbed of his talent and potential due to his addiction, and wished him the best of luck after he's out of prison.
Mr. Golden, I've seen so many times that good men and women who have a lot of talent and potential, that they can be robbed of that potential when they start to really struggle with their addiction. So I don't want that for you. You seem like a very talented young man. I'm hoping in your future that once you're done with your federal prison time, that you can be really successful on federal probation and have a really bright future where you can reach your full potential in every aspect of your life. Best of luck to you, Mr. Golden.
Thank you.
Anything
Thank you, Your
further?
Honor. That's all I have, if I
Okay.
could excuse.
You may.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all.
With YoungBoy receiving 23 months behind bars for his crimes, it looked like he wouldn't be heard from for a long time. But luckily for him, his lawyer did incredible work. Because he wrote in a text message, "I wrapped up YoungBoy's case. He got 23 months, but because of the way we worked it with credit on another case, he should be out in 3 or 4 months." However, with YoungBoy having served a couple months behind bars and overpopulated jails being an issue, they decided to let him out early. Back on March 3rd, Rich the Kid and academics knew he was about to be released.
Drake YB Dirk right now. And I ain't gonna lie to you, because I was even looking at my Spotify like recap. Yo, I think hip hop is due, like, YB has to stay out of jail. Yo, we're thirsty for his. There's a
Get out in March, right?
yeah, it's
Excited,
more music with him.
Wait on it. Wait on it.
However, YoungBoy won't be released for long because another YoungBoy case is pending. He was wanted for skipping a court appearance, which led to more charges. It was so serious the FBI got involved and staked out his Louisiana mansion. Once YoungBoy got in his car and drove out, they began tailing him. Following him all the way to the highway, the FBI tried pulling him over. Initially, YoungBoy complied and pulled over. However, once the agent stopped his car and got out, YoungBoy put it back in drive and floored it down the highway. With him running into traffic, he went off onto the regular streets, and after creating a gap between him and law enforcement, he took the chase on foot, which was a terrible decision for him because he was wearing skinny jeans, designer shoes, a big jacket, and diamond chains. With this situation being completely insane for a music artist to do, what's crazier is that he was caught running through a fan's backyard because the fan took photos of him just in front of a federal agent. However, it wasn't long until he was caught, considering he had 10 police cruisers, helicopters, and canine units tracking him.
You want to talk to us? Tell us what happened, or
As soon as
not?
we're done with everything, we'll take off the handcuffs, okay? But
yeah, I don't have a statement. I don't want to be detained in these handcuffs like this. I'm properly if I haven't committed a crime or done that.
Okay. All right. Give us a second, okay?
Okay, no voluntary statement.
Hey, he's not willing to give a
So,
statement.
you know, any statement, any voluntary statement?
No, sir. Mr. Martinez, I don't want to give a statement. I don't want to be in this.
These were serious charges against YoungBoy. From speed racing, resisting arrest, and many more, the judge didn't take easy on him. But having millions of dollars and the best lawyers got him a bond for the crimes.
For YoungBoy out of California is a $540,000 bond. He put up $500,000 in cash. In addition, he put up as collateral 2 properties worth in excess of $1.5 million, and he has to wear an ankle monitor. However, he's not going to be on house arrest. According to the bond set by the California judge, he simply has to wear the ankle monitor but is otherwise free to travel. Given that the California judge found that these circumstances are sufficient for a YoungBoy, why would a Louisiana judge find any differently? The Louisiana judge is looking at the same facts, he's looking at the same charges, and he's making a decision under the exact same federal law. Sure, it's a different court and a different circuit, and the way the laws are applied varies somewhat. It shouldn't vary a lot. If this California judge said, hey, this much money and these restrictions are good, it would be very, very weird for a Louisiana judge to say, oh no amount of money and no restrictions. That would be very uncommon.
But with YoungBoy having an extensive criminal history, it's interesting how he got only 23 months in his firearms case, which realistically ended up only being a few months. YoungBoy needs to take advantage of this and keep the crime out of his life. However, it's unlikely he'll do that. Earlier in his career, he was all about the music and was cool with everyone. However, now he goes out of his way to create beef with people and constantly self-snitches on himself in lyrics. Because an example of YoungBoy's rage and anger towards other artists is Jada Youngin. Back when they barely knew each other, Jay praised YoungBoy's musical talents by saying,
"Me and YoungBoy, soon we will be making music together. I'm a fan of YoungBoy music. Yeah, we gonna collaborate pretty soon and put on for our state, because when we do, I feel like that's just gonna be one of the hardest collaborations ever."
They later dropped a collab song with each other titled Up With Me, but they had a falling out after Jay accidentally shared an unreleased YoungBoy song on Instagram. YoungBoy hated this and commented, "Delete this now. I don't know how you even got my song. I don't mess around like that." Although Jay defended himself and said he wouldn't take disrespect.
"I'm a real and I stand on everything, you hear me? Ain't no gonna play with me, ain't gonna disrespect me."
He went after YoungBoy again as he rapped. "You put that comment on my post, they laughed about that, but but I was laughing when your baby mama was on me. As photos leaked of Jay hanging with YoungBoy's baby mama. In return, YoungBoy tried to catch Jay lacking in the streets as he recorded this video, which has some people wondering if YoungBoy was behind the hit that resulted in Jay's passing.
You be hiding. We real headhunters, man. Come on, man. Open their mouth, came to what they was, man. Oh.
Another example of making rappers annoyed is how Choppa supported YoungBoy back in the day by dropping a song titled Free YoungBoy when he was in lockup. However, once he started dissing King Von after his passing, he didn't like it, because YoungBoy dropped the song Bring the Hook in 2022. It had him dissing King Von repeatedly and had the rap scene reacting, YoungBoy on demon time right now, and he dropping another whole tape. Rapper Lil Reese responded back, that ain't no demon time. He just rapping like the rest of these rappers all rap. And just for Choppa agreeing with Reese by saying, I stamped that, YoungBoy lost his mind. YoungBoy dissed Choppa not long after with the lyrics, I bet your mama be destroyed when we send you to God for making statements. Choosing sides about my beef with them boys. I could say I saw it, you could say I was your favorite. Simply because Choppa didn't like YoungBoy dissing someone who couldn't defend themselves, YoungBoy sent that warning out to him. But we heard more from Choppa on this interview.
He's not able to defend his name, bro, and it be a lot going on within his name about him when, to me, bro, he a real stand-up dude, and it was just unfortunate how it happened. Like, he came to a person as a man.
He even released this statement on YoungBoy. YoungBoy needs to be more careful. He's got a lot of people looking up to him, and he needs to set a better example. Stay out of trouble and focus on his music, which resulted in this final interview talking about YoungBoy.
When you heard that, what'd you think?
It was funny to me. I feel like, you know, it's not serious when it hit the net. It's funny. I mean, it's just entertainment to me.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. Good song. Nice bars.